Bitcoin Core has gone rogue. They're pushing Bitcoin away from its core purpose of being a decentralized monetary network and turning it into a general purpose data dumpster. This is a massive problem because what makes Bitcoin so powerful and a real threat to the fiat world order is that it's a decentralized monetary network that no single entity has control over. Bitcoin Core, by making it easier to spam the chain with BRC20s, ordinals, and other arbitrary data, is actively attacking this decentralization. The chain is about 750 gigs right now, and 1 terabyte of storage costs around $200 today. Can you imagine the hit to decentralization if the Bitcoin chain size ballooned to 4 terabytes? I believe Bitcoin Core is an attack on Bitcoin, and we node runners need to take a stand. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can run a Bitcoin NOTs node with BIP-110 signaling on a Windows 11 machine. That way you can help send a clear message to the network that Bitcoin is money. Everything else can find another chain. So getting into it, let's talk about what you're going to need. You're going to need a Windows 10 or 11 machine. I will be using a Windows 11 machine for this demonstration. However, if you're not hell-bent on using Windows, then I do recommend you pick up a dedicated mini PC and go about the pre-built options like running a mynode or a Start9 OS on a mini PC. I got videos for that, and I'll leave them in the description. I think those are definitely easier, but if you're set on using Windows 11, then just follow along in this video. You're also going to need at least 800 gigs of free space, though I do recommend you go for at least 1 terabyte of space for future proofing. Here's an image of a product that will work for your case, and I have a link to this in the description below. If you do use that link for any of your purchases on Amazon, you will help to support this channel, so thank you for that. And you're also going to need an internet connection. And then the overview of the process is we're first just going to download and verify the Bitcoin NOT software. Then we're going to install it and launch it on your Windows machine, and then we're going to verify that everything is working. So a very straightforward process. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we start doing that, I just want to share this. If you're watching this video, you're probably a serious Bitcoiner. I went ahead and put together this guide called 10 operational practices that help you keep more Bitcoin over time. So as you know, being your own bank comes with extra responsibilities. So I put together this free PDF guide to go over some tips and tricks that can help you save fees over time by adopting some good Bitcoin operational practices. So do check this out. I have it available on my website here at escapefromfiat.com. So check it out and put your email in here and I will send you the free copy. So here we are in my Windows machine. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go and download our software that we need. So I'm going to come over to BIP110.org. I already looked it up, so just Google BIP110.org here. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. And then here on the top, we have how to. Then you'll see different ways that we can download this Bitcoin NOTs with BIP110 signaling. So I did mention that for starters, I would recommend using a mini PC dedicated to this. So if you had a mini PC, you'd be following the Start9 or the Umbral or the mynode or Parmanode or any other of these methods. But since we're going to be doing this directly, we're going to go ahead and use the first one, the Bitcoin NOTs direct download. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to click download from GitHub here and begin downloading the software that we need. So I know for a fact we're running Windows 11 on a 64-bit machine. So for that reason, I'm going to get the this one here, the Bitcoin 29.3 yada 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 164 setup -pg verifiable.exe. So I'm going to go ahead and just click this guy to begin to download. And that was really fast. We need to go ahead and keep it. So I'm going to click the 3 dots and click keep. And then I'm going to keep anyway. It's just trying to tell us that we're downloading an executable and it doesn't know who the publisher is. So it's giving us a bunch of warnings, but we're going to just prompt to keep it anyways. And we're going to do our own verification using these signatures. So let's go ahead and just press this button. So we're going to need 2 more files to verify this authenticity of the downloads. We're going to need the SHA-256 sums and the SHA-256 sums.asc. So let's go ahead and download these ones as well. So let's go ahead and click these. And you'll see that we have all 3 of them. So coming back over to our downloads folder here, you'll see we have all 3 things that we need. We have the Bitcoin NOTs client, and then we have our signature file here, and then our SHA-256 sums file. We're also going to need date and ohms key to verify this signature. So to do that, let's go ahead and go back to the BIP110 website here. Let's scroll to the very bottom. Actually, I think we got to go to the main page. And let's scroll to the very bottom here, and you'll see here we have his public key, date and ohms public key here. So I'm going to go ahead and click this to download that as well. So this is the key that we're going to be using to verify the authenticity of the SHA-256 sums file through the SHA-256 sums signature file here. So now we have everything that we need in place. We now need to make sure we have the GPG tools installed in our system. That way we can correctly perform the verification. So let's go ahead and do that. So to perform the GPG verification, the best way to check if we have the tools that we need is to open up a command prompt. So let's first go down here and click the Windows button. We'll type in CMD, and then we're going to click the command prompt here. And then we're just going to type in GPG --version. That's going to tell us if we have the GPG tools installed, and it looks like we do not have them installed. If you do have these tools already ready to go, you could skip forward to the next part of the video. But if you don't, follow along, and we're going to go ahead and download these tools. So we're going to go ahead and open up a new browser session and type in and Google GPG for Win. And then here's the website right here, gpg4win.org. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to install this package here. This is just free and open source GPG tools. So very, very popular and secure tools. We're going to go ahead and click the download button. We're going to click donate $0 and then click download. And then we're going to let this thing go. So notice how this exe that we downloaded earlier gave us all these warnings and told us we have to keep it. This one is not doing any of that. That's because the publisher of the software is verified with Windows. So we could go ahead and just open this directly, and you can see here that it is a verified publisher. So we go ahead and just click yes. And just like that, we're going to easily download the GPG tools onto our system. So let's go ahead and just follow these prompts. I'm going to uncheck a lot of the stuff like GPG-OL. That's like the Outlook stuff, which is Windows email. What is this? EX. Looks like it's a GNU-PG shell extension. I don't think we need that, but I'm going to go ahead and keep that just in case. Ocular, we don't need that. Browser integration, we don't need that. So basically, I will just keep these three, the GNU-PG, Cleopatra, and GPG-EX. So let's go ahead and click Next. And I'm going to use the default location and install it. And it looks like we're done. So Cleopatra wants to run. I'm going to go ahead and let Cleopatra run. Cleopatra is just a nice user interface showing all of your key stuff. So if we run it here, you'll see that it's just a nice UI for managing our GPG operations. So going into verifying the download, let's go ahead and import. Let's import Dathan Ohm's key. That way we can actually use it. So I'm going to go ahead and click the import, go to my downloads, and then click Dathan Ohm's .asc file here, which is his key, and open it. And just like that, we imported his key into our keyring. Good. Now we can use this keyring to make sure that the signatures were verified correctly. Now the easiest way to make sure that we installed everything correctly is to open up a new command prompt. We have to open up a new one because the old one that we had earlier is unaware of the new tools that we just added. So let's go ahead and open up a new one and close the other one. And let's type in GPG-version. And you will see that we now have an output. So our tools are installed correctly. So at this point, we have the GPG tools installed correctly, and we have Dathan Ohm's signing key imported into our GPG keyring. So far, so good. The next thing we need to do is make sure that the SHA-256 sums file is legit signed by Dathan Ohm. So to do that, we need to run a few commands. Now the easiest way to do this is to navigate over to our downloads folder where we have all of our files that we downloaded. So I'm going to press CD space downloads and press enter. So all that did is that just moved our shell session into our downloads folder here. So our shell session is now in here. So now that we're in here, we're going to run gpg-verify SHA-256 sums.asc and then SHA-256 sums. So the way that I'm getting these values to pre-populate is I'm pressing tab. So your terminals do have tab complete. So I'm going to press SH, then press tab, and you'll see that it's going to autocomplete with whatever we have in the folder that we're in here. So I'm going to go ahead and run this command, and you're going to see that we have signatures from Bitcoin Mechanic, but we can't check his signature because we didn't import his key. But then we do have a good signature from Dathan Ohm because we did import his key. So so far, so good. We do get this warning saying that this key's ID is not certified. That's just because we didn't come down here and then we didn't change the status here. So that's okay. We don't really care. For our purposes, this is a legit signature. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that the checksum of the application file that we downloaded matches what we expect it to be in the .txt file. So I'm going to go ahead and open the SHA-256 sums txt file here, open it with a notepad. And then we downloaded this one here. We downloaded Windows 64 setup pgverifiable.exe. We can double check that by coming back over here in our downloads. You can see this is the win64-setup-pgverifiable.exe. So basically, this is the hash that our application should yield. So the last step that we need to do is we need to calculate the SHA-256 sum on our file itself, and if it yields this hash, then everything is good to go and we can continue with installation. So let's go ahead and do that verification really quickly. We're going to do that by opening up our command prompt again and running a simple command. So we're going to run cert util -hash file space. And I'm going to start typing in Bitcoin, and I'm going to press tab because we only have one file. We only have one file in here that starts with Bitcoin, right? So if I just type in Bitcoin, I could press tab and it'll auto-complete. And then we want to check the SHA-256, just the SHA-256. So that's not a file. This is the algorithm we're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and just press enter. I don't know why it's freezing. I'm going to go ahead and try it again. Let's do cert util -hash file Bitcoin and then SHA-256 go. And there it is. You can see that I calculated the SHA-256 checksum, and it starts with 7CEB and it ends in BE2. Now we should be able to compare this with the hash we have here, and it should match identically, right? 7CEB2, 7CEB2, yada, 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 and it ends in EOBE2, EOBE2. So this means that we downloaded the application and we verified it correctly. So the next step is to just install this program and configure it, and then we're done here. So let's go ahead and continue with installing this application here. Before we do that, if you are enjoying this video, please drop a like and subscribe, maybe tell your friends about it, or leave a comment letting me know what you want to see next. But here we go. I'm going to double click the .exe file, and it's going to give us a warning saying it's from an unknown publisher. I'm going to go ahead and click yes, go ahead and install it. And at this point, it's safe just because we just verified it on our own. So it's good enough for us. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And here is where you're going to want to pick the right destination for your Bitcoin data. So this is where you're going to want to find your folder that has all that space. So if you had an external SSD, that's what you would be using to for your destination folder. As you can see here, I don't have nearly enough space on this PC, but this is just a demo. So if you refer back to the beginning of this video, I said you should have at least 1 terabyte. So you really should have at least 1 terabyte. I'm going to go ahead and continue with this just because my node is running on a different machine, and I will be taking this node down after this video. But just so you know, I am running Bitcoin Knots with BIP-110 on my own software. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just use this default location. Click next. It's going to ask us if we want to create shortcuts. I'm just going to leave the defaults. This is entirely up to you. So I'm going to just click install and let it do its thing. That was quick. I'm going to press next, and then I'm going to go ahead and just click run Bitcoin Knots and see what happens. So here we are. Welcome to Bitcoin Knots. It's going to tell us where we want to save our data at. You can come back here and you can double check, make sure things are set to your, to where you have all your space at. You can limit your blockchain storage here. I would just leave all the defaults to make it easy, but you can go ahead and spend more time looking at this if you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and just click OK. And just like that, the blockchain is going to begin syncing. So you'd have to wait a few days, maybe a few weeks for this to complete. But once this is done, then you will now have a Bitcoin Knots node running, and you can do your part in rugging the spammers. So if you enjoyed this content, once again, please check out my website, escapefromfiat.com. Share with your friends, and I really appreciate you for watching this. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.